Hatchie is giving the world away. At least that's the title of her new album. Music Talk found Hatchie in Los Angeles, where we asked her all the important questions like, how did New Order inspire you? And what was it like to be married in Las Vegas at the Graceland Chapel? The answers are here.
Don't fall too fast. I've got this feeling that won't ever lost. I never wanted to fall.
Yeah, so the record was out, like last Friday. What's it been like over the course of the week for you?
It's been amazing. We have been trying to take it easy before tour starts. So nothing too crazy, but we had like a launch party on the Thursday night. And yeah, a bunch of people came, which is really cool considering it's not my hometown or anything.
Right.
It was really lovely, and I got to meet a lot of fans.
Cool. Excellent. So how does it feel good to be out and about again? Because obviously everyone's been kind of locked down and locked in. So what's it feel like out there?
Good. It's been so nice. I mean, I just feel this kind of overwhelming sense of relief, I think, after finishing the record so long ago. We finished it at the end of 2020. So we really thought we'd be back on tour in 2021. And obviously we weren't. So it was a very delayed release. But yeah, I'm glad that we waited so that we can tour it as soon as it comes out, and we didn't have to have that break in between the release and the touring. So it's cool. I think everyone's super happy to be back on the road, and yeah, I'm just really excited.
Yep. So with the record having been made so long ago, do you look at it differently now? Do you think about it differently now? Does it take on a different kind of meaning to you?
In some ways, yeah, definitely. I think in particular, I think it was really, I thought it was this solid concept of like me kind of going through this hopelessness and then finding my feet and finding my confidence. And then since then, I feel like it's kind of like a, one step forward, two steps back scenario where like, it's not as easy as me just like finding my confidence and everything being great after that. I think it's, I've just realized what a cycle it is, and how that progression isn't linear in any way. And I'm still going back and forth in between a lot of the feelings that I felt on the record. I'm feeling the complete opposite. So I think I'm just going to continue to grow and change, I guess. But yep. I do still feel a connection to most of it.
And so when you're going to start performing these songs, do you have to kind of kick into where you were back then in order to kind of connect with them again?
Definitely. Yeah. With songs like The Rhythm, I think especially that one, I wanted to sound super confident, almost to the point of being cocky. So it kind of helps having that kind of character that I can slip into on stage, because it makes the performance better. Gotcha.
Now, it obviously has a kind of dancey kind of vibe to it. A lot of synthes going on, popping around. And my understanding is that this is all kind of inspired when you saw New Order just before everything kind of fell apart.
So, yeah, that was the last big show I went to. And then I think the next day everyone was it wasn't official lockdown orders, but everyone was kind of staying home. So it was a kind of a crazy last show to end on, because it meant that it was the show that I was comparing everything to when we were writing the album and thinking about the live show. I really wanted to incorporate sounds and lights and visuals that would make sense for a much bigger, more exciting live setting. So I think a lot of that was off the back of that show, and they're one of my favorite artists ever. So it was kind of always in the back of my mind, really.
Right. So now the kind of creative core for this album, in addition to you, is your producer, George Elbrecht, I think is how it's pronounced, and Joe, who is also your husband now. So tell me how the three of you work together.
It depended on the song. So we met, Joe and I have worked together for years, and we came to LA in February 2020 to meet George, and we wrote Lights On and This Enchanted with him, the three of us.
Right.
And then decided from then that we wanted to do the record with him. Then we went back to Australia and had to do it over email and Zoom because of the lockdown. So we did have some songs that we started with him, and then we had other songs that Joe and I started separately from him and that he helped us finish. Right. Some songs that were pretty much completely done and he kind of just mixed and added a little bit of production to, but some songs he had a really big hand in the production. So it was very varied across the songs. But he's he's extremely knowledgeable and extremely smart when it comes to production. So he knows exactly what we're going for. Every time we say something, he picks up on the reference instantly and can really hone in on specific sounds. So he's really great because he works super fast.
Cool. So what kind of discussion did you have with him about the sound that you wanted?
Well, initially I wanted to go for more kind of upbeat, energetic, dancey sound, like kind of like 90s hacienda, like Manchester vibes, like Saint Etienne, and that's when we wrote This Enchanted.
Right.
But then with everything kind of being slowed down and me getting a lot more introspective, I decided it would be a bit more honest and, I guess, faithful to my own experience to dig a little deeper and go with a bit more of an emotional shade and color palette, I guess. So we kind of expanded it a bit and went from there. But yeah, that initial conversation was all about, really bright sounds.
Right. And now mentioned Joe, who you've married, and the way you work together. Now, I'm not interested in your personal relationship, but I am interested in the going to Graceland Chapel and getting married in Nevada, in Las Vegas.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was amazing. I mean, I think it took a few people by surprise. We made sure we told our families before we went. We were together for 8 years beforehand, so it wasn't a last minute decision. We decided about a month before. And it was crazy. We keep comparing it to like waiting in line for a roller coaster, because we were like, each ceremony is only 15, 20 minutes. So there was already another party in there when we got there.
Right.
And they're all screaming and yahooing and, cackling as they walked out. And Elvis walked me down the aisle, and it was pretty crazy. And it was surreal, and it was just over in a heartbeat. So we were just laughing the whole time as well.
Did they play any Elvis, like Love Me Tender or something?
Yeah, he did. I think he did like 3 little songs. He did like a medley, and then his whole the vows that he said were all just had punchlines that were Elvis song titles and lyrics. So it was amazing. It was worth every penny.
Yeah, so you won't be lonesome tonight, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. Promise you won't leave him in Heartbreak Hotel, that kind of thing.
Right. Fantastic.
Yeah,
that sounds like fun. So now that the record's out, what's the plan going forward here? You're going to do some tours and stuff?
Yeah, we're in the US at the moment. We're coming back to Australia in August. I'm really hoping to go beyond that and just tour as much as possible for the next 6 months to kind of make up for lost time.
Right.
And then I don't really want to, I guess waste isn't the right word, but I don't want to waste any time between releases. I really want to start moving into the next album. I think after waiting for so long, I've got so much like pent up energy that I want to use. But the main thing I want to do is tour places that we haven't been to before, like other areas in Asia and Europe and South America and things like that. So hopefully just lots and lots of shows.
Right. So when you're out, do you get a lot of interaction with fans? Do they like to tell you what it all means to them and stuff? And how do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I think that's definitely the best part about selling my own merch at shows is I get to meet everyone, and you get to meet, all kinds of people, all ages, all backgrounds and genders. So it's really lovely. It's such a nice way to connect. And you'll be surprised the kind of people that are into your music, I think, when you meet everyone. So it's really, really rewarding.
Right. Now, mentioned in Las Vegas, you have a video for Quicksand, which it's got you in this big like stretch Hummer kind of thing. And the song itself is all seems to be about like being taken for granted and disillusionment, but it's a real banger as well. So tell me about the song and tell me about making the video, if you don't mind.
If I had everything I wanted, but I want more. But I keep fighting if there's nothing left to fight for. Sometimes I feel like I'm just sinking into quicksand.
Yeah, that one was written, it was one of the first songs I wrote for the album. And I kind of struggled with what direction to take it in for a while because it was sounding so pop. I was kind of concerned that it was too pop and it wasn't really where I wanted to go with this project. But in the end, it just felt right. And I felt like it reflected how I was really honestly feeling in that moment, which was feeling really, I don't know, just like annoyed with myself for not being grateful, not being able to like celebrate my achievements because my life was really amazing, but I was still finding things that I didn't like about it.
Right.
I think I'm really critical of myself and of my life. So I thought it was really important to put that in a song because it takes up so many hours of my day.
Right.
So then we wanted to kind of balance that out with a really beautiful film clip with lots of bright colors. And this is the only clip that my husband Joe hasn't directed. We got our friend Nathan Castile, who lives here in LA, where we shot it, to do it. And he filmed it on film, which was really lovely, and gave it like a really different quality. And he built that set of me sitting on top of the like the theater. He built that all himself.
Oh, great.
And
That's
put all
cool.
the neon lights in. So it was really, really cool. Yeah, it was shot in a studio, and then the other half was shot in a limo around LA. So it was a very different experience. It was really cool.
Uh-huh. So you're mentioning that you're thinking about the next record already, which makes sense because it's been a while. So a lot has happened in your life and in everyone's life over the time. How do you think of yourself differently as an artist now, and differently about how you're approaching your music?
It's hard to say because I haven't really felt like I have like kind of been in that world for a while, because we haven't been touring. I've kind of been not really doing much in terms of Hatchie at home at the moment because I haven't had the time. I think once we're back in like touring mode and everything, and once the album's been out for a little while, I'll have a bit more time to reflect on how much I've changed. But I feel like everything's just been at a standstill for so long. I really can't tell what's changed.
Okay, I like that term though. Hatchie at home. It could be.
Yeah, true. It could be the next, live album or something.
Oh, and I also read that you kind of follow Nick Cave's Red Hand Files, and that had something to do with the record. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was. The song "Take My Hand" was kind of loosely inspired by a response that he had written to a young fan about her struggles with, I guess, her self-esteem and her body image, I guess. And it's something that I struggled with when I was a teenager a lot, and still definitely follows me around to this day. And he had a really beautiful response to it that kind of made me feel like it was something that I wish I'd heard when I was a teenager. So I wanted to write a song kind of from that perspective of what I wish I'd been told at that age.
Take my hand, you don't have to worry anymore. Oh, take my hand, there's nothing left to hide like before. I know it's hard for you. No one aches the way you do. You ask for a second chance. You ask for an answer to a prayer, but you don't have to change.
Well, that's interesting because a lot of that stuff with the whole Me Too movement and all that has come out in very quick time in the last couple of years. So how do you think it affects young women as they're growing up? Do you think it's a plus for them that all this is kind of being made aware of? And is it changing the dynamic, do you think?
I'm not sure that I couldn't speak for how much it is changing the dynamic. I think for teenagers, I think in some ways it's good that the light is being shed on everything. But in other ways, I think that social media is getting worse in terms of people's level of self-criticism. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's more good elements, but there could potentially also be more bad elements. So it's a constant push and pull, I think. I don't know.
How do you think if you were back in high school, how would it affect you, do you think?
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad there was no Instagram or anything when I was in high school. I think it would, I don't know how I would deal with it. It's hard enough as an adult. So I definitely am glad that I wasn't born any later than I was, for sure, in terms of that stuff. Yeah.
No, I hear you. All right. And do you think you're going to be coming around to this part of the world and performing soon?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, we really should, seeing as it's so close to Australia. But
that's true.
I think when the right moment comes, maybe a festival or a support tour or something. Because I don't know. I don't know how many fans we have, but hopefully.
I think you got a few, probably.
Thanks. I hope so.
All righty. Well, thank you very much for taking time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. I know we have
Thank you,
limited
you
time.
too.
So thanks a lot. Good luck with the tour when it does kick off, and congratulations on the record.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.